Hello and welcome to episode 19 of the By the Lakeside podcast. My name is Sandy and this is a podcast about my knitting and sewing and whatever else I'm working on in my craft room here in my home, which is by the lake. It is a beautiful day today. I thought I would take a few moments and record a podcast. So thank you so much if you are coming back and a returning viewer. And also welcome to a lot of the new viewers. I've noticed a lot of new subscriptions lately, or subscribers, so thank you for tuning in. If you're looking for me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Sandy Ran. I have an Etsy shop, which is Sandy by the Lakeside, and I've also got a website now which will direct you to all of those places. So if you want to check that out, it is bythelakeside.com. So I have so many things that I want to show you today and talk about. I'm just going to start jumping right in because I'm really excited. There are 3 weeks until Rhinebeck and I am so excited to be going this year. It is my first time going. I've been watching videos and thinking about it nonstop, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to go. I think I mentioned before that I'm going to be staying with a few awesome ladies: Amber from Maker's Haven, Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, and Angie from Camel City Dye Works. We are all staying together and we are all makers of some kind, and so we decided to put together a kit, and we're kind of loosely calling it the Rhinebeck Roomie Kit. But we are so excited that it is finally ready, and it will be available for sale this coming Sunday, October 1st, and that will be for sale on Angie's website, in her Etsy shop. So I'm going to put the information for that on the screen, and I'll also put it down below so you can check that out. We are so excited. I'm going to show you this amazing kit that we worked on together. If I can hold all the pieces up. So we all contributed, and here is the lovely kit. So with this kit, you will be getting this beautiful sock pattern that Kay designed. I love it. It's a really beautiful, yet kind of simple, not too complicated, but it has a nice texture to it pattern. And she's knit those up with the yarn that is in the kit. So the pattern is called Rhinebeck Roomies. This beautiful yarn, this one was dyed by Angie from Camel City Dye Works. And the colors in this, I'm just going to slide this off because the colors in this skein of yarn are so beautiful, with all different colors of speckles that kind of pick up on the colors in the bag. I really adore this. I think it's stunning. So happy with it. So Angie did this skein of yarn, and then Amber did a beautiful coordinating mini skein for your heels, toes, and cuffs, and also her famous yarn or knitting jewelry. So there's a little progress keeper there with sort of 2 drops and multicolored stones, and they're just beautiful. Everything looks so beautiful together. I'm really, really excited. I cannot wait to cast these on. I think I'm going to have to wind this up now that I have shown you these beautiful skeins. And then all of that is coming with a bag that I made. And we all kind of chose this fabric together. We thought it would be really fun since everyone talks about their Rhinebeck sweater, and it was really colorful, and then the yarn totally matches, which is amazing because we did this long distance from one another. So that is our Rhinebeck kit. I'm just going to give you a little peek. The inside of the bag has these cute dots, and yeah, so if you are interested in this kit, you're going to get all of that, and it will be available in limited quantities on Sunday, October 1st. I can't remember the time either. I'm going to put that up on the screen. There is a time. And then that will be in Angie's shop. So I will give you all the details on the screen, and I hope that if you're interested, you will check that out. And I don't have a printout, but you're going to get a really nice printout booklet of this pattern, and then you'll be able to get that on Ravelry afterwards too. So that was so much fun, and I really wanted to talk about that first because it has been keeping me really busy. I've been working on bags nonstop for a few days or weeks from beginning to end, but I am so happy with the final kit, and I hope that you guys will be too. So I guess I will start talking about knitting. I have a very exciting finished object that I have been giving peeks of on Instagram nonstop, but this morning I finally completed just the final touches on my branches and buds sweater, and I have put all of the buds on the yoke, which you can see here, and I feel like it's finally complete, and I am so happy that this is going to be my Rhinebeck sweater this year. The fit is perfect. Knitting it was just a joy. I've talked about it a few times, so I won't go into too much detail other than to just mention that it is a pattern by Carrie Bostic Hogue. It's called Branches and Buds Pullover, and it was in the First Making magazine, but it's also available now on Ravelry as a pattern download for purchase. I used Quince & Co. Chickadee, which was a dream to knit with, and it's blocked out beautifully. It's really, really soft. It's not too heavy and thick or scratchy, so I'm really happy. I think this is going to be perfect for October, and I'm just so excited about these little buds. And I just kind of fiddled around with different colors that I wanted, and in the end I will show you the ones that I chose, because it was a little stressful, but I had a lot of fun too. It was really fun picking them. So I kind of toyed with doing like a rainbow variety of colors, and then I sort of went to my favorite colors, which you can see on my wall there, and so many yarns I buy. So I was kind of in this mood, and I thought I would go here. And this is all Quince & Co. Chickadee. But I felt like it was just missing something, and so I took the mini from our Rhinebeck Roomie Kit, and I just snuck a little bit out there, out of that skein, and this was the final, oops, let's see if I can hold them all up. These were my final colors for the buds. So they turned out beautifully. I'm really happy with them. This kind of magenta really added, I think, a little bit of warmth to all of these cooler kind of colors. So I used, and they're all Chickadee I said, but this is Fjord, so a dark blue. I used Glacier, which is a really pale frosty blue. I used Bosque, which is this beautiful olivey green. And then the Sweet Erin sent me Belize, which is a beautiful color, and it's a little bit nicer than the blue that I had, so this one really made these colors pop, I think. I loved that on its own. And then this is a little mini from the Rhinebeck Roomie Kit, so from Maker's Haven. And because this is a fingering, I just double-stranded this one because these were a little bit thicker. So I think it turned out great. I'm really, really happy with the colors. I hope they all stay in there and they're not falling out, but I think they'll be okay. So I'm kind of sad that this is over. I'm really happy that it's done, but I really, really enjoyed knitting this sweater, and I know a lot of people, it's such a striking sweater that so many people have commented that it was in their queue, and I would highly recommend it if you've been thinking about it. It really is, I feel like the yoke is that bit of fun and it's interesting, but it's not complicated, it's not stressful, although you have to watch the pattern and what you're doing. It's, you know, it's very easy to read it, so I loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I'm excited to move on to some other projects, but I'm also a little sad that this one is done. But I will be wearing this in Rhinebeck, so if you see me and recognize me or my sweater, then please stop and say hello. I would love to meet you. And now I'm going to move on to whips, because finishing that sweater And then also, I think I mentioned in the last episode or two, I had so many whips and it was overwhelming me again. So I kind of cleared them all out. I brought them all into the craft room here, and I'm only working on a couple of projects, and I'm really, really enjoying what I'm working on. So the first one, which I had started a little while ago, I've put into this brand new bag that I purchased from Espace Tricot on their website. And they had shown these. There were a new bag that they had designed with zigzag stitches, whose bags I already love. And I thought these were totally my style. I loved all the different colors. But in the end, I really wanted this cream one. I thought it was so pretty and just goes with everything. So it's got this handle, and it came with this beautiful enamel pin, which is totally not showing up, sorry. Anyways, I love this bag. It's so structured, and my current whip is in here. So I have picked up again my my West Knits by Stephen West dotted raise shawl. So this is a pattern I had started a little while ago, and I used my own hand-dyed yarn. And this is where I am at. And I'm kind of hoping that I could possibly finish this one for Rhinebeck too. I'm not sure if that's a little ambitious for me because I have a lot of other stuff to do before then. But yeah, I love this pattern too. There's lots of detail in it, but it's basically a pretty simple pattern and also very easy to read. So I think that is what makes a pattern enjoyable for me. I don't mind if there's a little bit to it where you have to pay attention, but I really have to clearly be able to see where I am while I'm knitting because my mind is constantly wandering, or the kids are distracting me and asking me questions, and if I can't quickly look at the stitches and know where I'm at, I don't really enjoy it, and then I make a lot of mistakes. So this has been a joy. I've been working on this every night in my downtime when I'm just sitting and we're watching a little bit of TV. I think I've got threads on it because I've been sewing so much. It's a mess. But I love it. I love how this yarn is working out. This was one of the first ones that I had dyed and I showed you. And I love this color. I need to figure out what I did to get this color because I did not write it down. It was just one of my first experiments, and I think I might be able to recreate it, but I'm really enjoying it. I love the colors. There's some little dark parts that are coming out. I'm just really happy with it, and it's soft, and I love knitting shawls. I love it. So this is the next one that is on my mind to really get finished. I've put everything else away. But I'm enjoying it. It's really fun. And I've got my little gnome knitter progress keeper, which are my favorites. And you know, I've made a couple of like really small mistakes in here, but it doesn't even bother me. I think when I block this out, it's really going to make the eyelet holes kind of consistent and look really pretty. So like here you can see there's a little hole here. I think I made a little mistake there where it shouldn't be, but I might even be able to just close that up. So I'm not stressing. I'm really enjoying this knit. This is kind of my therapeutic, bigger project that is, I'm really excited to finish. So I would love to wear this. I think this is a color that I would wear a lot, and I just love fingering weight shawls. So, loving this bag. I'm really happy with it. Oh, I think I've got something in here that I wanted to take out. Okay. So, loving this project. And then my other two projects right now are socks. So, I decided, even though I have a million other socks to do, that I really wanted to try the Clark socks by Jacqueline Salem, who is the designer and creator behind the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast, which I love, and I'm sure you all watch because she's amazing. And I love cables. I don't really knit them often. I've done them before, and I really enjoy them. And so this project is in my kind of Halloween inspired bag from my shop. And here is my sock so far. And I am loving every stitch of this pattern, and I'm not exaggerating. This one is another pattern that you have to follow the pattern for every row to see, you know, where your little pearl design would happen, and then the little cables in the front and the back. But it's also really easy to read your knitting, your stitches, and where you're at. So I've had no problems with this, and I just love it. So it's a little bit more interesting than my usual vanilla socks, which I usually love. But I'm loving this yarn. I'm loving the magic loop, loving the pattern. I only have good things to say about this, and I love how Jacqueline put the pattern together. I am really excited to see what else is coming, you know, our way from her, because I think she's really a talented lady. So this yarn is the Lolo Did It. It's one of the Hippos colorway, and this one is Hippo for Mom. And it was the Mother's Day colorway, and the Hippo colorways are this gray base with different speckles and different colors kind of dropped in. So love this one because it's a little simple. It's not too overwhelming for the pattern, and I'm really loving how you can see the cable pop with it. And I also really love these little pearl kind of angled things, you know, designs that are happening on the sides. So loving it. If you are thinking about this one, you should definitely cast it on. I don't know if it's also that it's starting to feel like fall, even though we've had kind of a heat wave here, which is kind of crazy for this time of year. But it still feels like fall. The leaves are starting to change a bit, and we've just been in the mood. Our Thanksgiving in Canada is so early this year. I think it's October 9th. It feels like it's right around the corner, and it kind of is. So I don't know, cables and cozy knitting is exactly what I'm looking for right now. And speaking of fall and moving along with the seasons, I pulled out this project bag of mine, which is one of my Christmas ones from last year, and I love it. It is so cute. And in it, I have a sock that I started last year, and I am totally determined to finish it quite soon because I am wearing these socks this Christmas. Oops, I'm tangled up. So here is my beautiful sock so far. Oops, that way. This is the Cozy Knitter's famous yarn, the gingerbread. Is it gingerbread house or just gingerbread? Let me double check. Gingerbread house. So the Cozy Knitter gingerbread house. Christina's just amazing with her self-striping yarns. They're so beautiful. This one is on the sparkle or glitter base, and it's got a gold stellina, which is so beautiful. I think you can see it there. I've even left my peppermint bark from the Gnome Knitter on there. And I pulled this out a few weeks ago, and I had a moment of almost panic, like, why is this so long? And then I realized it's because I decided to try the Afterthought heel. So I've got my Afterthought spot marked here with this yarn. So I should be able to finish this one quite quickly and then bang out the next one and then try my first attempt at the Afterthought heel. Yeah, I think I was more ambitious last year because I'm not that excited about it this time, but that is what I'm doing. So the Susan B. Anderson had a pattern that she released, I think it was last year. Is it Smooth Operator? Let me just double check. It's a really great pattern with tons of details and pictures, so I'm sure it will be fine. Yes, Smooth Operator socks, Susan B. Anderson. So that is what I'm going to try to do, and I do have, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the heels with the coordinating mini or not. I will do the toes, and that is the wound up yarn. So I'm really enjoying this one too. I love Christina's yarn. It's so much, it's such a pleasure to knit with. And I've mentioned it before, I adore self-striping yarn. I really, really do. So this one is going to be done quite soon because I have another Christmas sock that I want to make this year too, and I will show you that in a bit. So that is it. The shawl and these two socks are the only things that are on my needles right now and that I am really thinking about or grabbing in the evenings when I have a few minutes to knit. So doesn't mean there's not a lot of dream knitting going on. I do have the antler mittens that I am planning on casting on any day. I was just trying to get a little bit of progress made on my shawl before that took over. But I mentioned last podcast that I am going to be doing the Cold Hands knit along, and if you are knitting anything to keep your hands warm this fall or winter, then you should check that out in my Ravelry group, which is by the lakeside in the groups tab on Ravelry. There are going to be some fun prizes and it has officially started. So if you want to check out the chatter thread for now, or if you've got a finished object, feel free to pop that in on the group threads. And I'm gonna have mine to show you hopefully next time because I'm kind of itching to cast that on, but I've actually forced myself to not, just so that I can get a little bit more done on the other projects. So dream knitting I'm going to talk about right now because with Rhinebeck around the corner, I have been thinking about what is going to be, what are the bigger projects that I want on my needles in the next couple of months. And I mentioned a beautiful sweater in the last episode. But when I was putting all of my projects away or on a little timeout, I pulled out my starting point shawl. And this is the Joji Locatelli make-along that she had done in the fall, early fall, I think. No, is it early fall? No, it was last spring, I think. And I totally missed the boat on doing it with the clues. I was working full-time at the time, and I was just doing it sort of on my own after I started seeing everyone else's, and I loved it. I took all of my yarns from stash. I'm really happy with this project, but I just didn't have, you know, the time or the energy to devote to it. But I am definitely getting back to this as soon as my dotted rays shawl is off the needles because I love it. And I don't think I mentioned, but when I was at the Kitchener-Waterloo Knitters Fair a few weeks ago, I saw quite a few of them on people that were walking around, and it just was such a beautiful shawl, or almost scarf, but it's really, really beautiful, and it made me really excited to pull mine out again. So that is on my dream knitting list, which is great because it's already started. And I've got my second needle. I picked up another needle to do them both simultaneously if I want. I think I'm actually gonna knit the whole one half first and then the whole other half after that because I think that might be more interesting for me than to do each piece twice. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But of course I have a new pattern. There are always things that, you know, kind of come and go, and then whether they get cast on or not, I don't know. This one I think is definitely going to be on my needles, and I might be shopping for this at Rhinebeck. It is the 2nd Avenue shawl or wrap. I've seen this around some Instagram photos. I've seen a few people knitting it, and then I saw Lisa. I think it was Lisa, not Melissa. It was Lisa from Espastico. She was picking out yarns for it, and this is what it looks like. And I just got the bug, and I think it's beautiful. I love these colors actually, so I'm looking for something that has kind of this contrast, and I think it's going to be on my shopping list for Rhinebeck. So if I can find some beautiful yarns while I'm there, this is the project that I will be casting on when I come back, and might be my winter project. I think over the winter months I would love to work on this. So that is dream knitting. Now, I have so much stuff today. I don't know how long, it's not too bad, okay. So next up are acquisitions, purchases, and also some gifts. So I feel very fortunate and very blessed. I have a lot of stuff here to talk about. A few of them were such generous, beautiful gifts that I just have to talk about them because they're so amazing. So a week ago, it was my birthday, and I received the most beautiful birthday package from my sweet friend Joanne, who is Port Hardy on Instagram. You should check her out because she is a phenomenal knitter, and she always has the best yarns and pictures about her knitting, and she's just a lovely friend, and I adore her, and she's so sweet. She sent me the most generous package. It just blew me away. I opened it up, and lo and behold is this beautiful elk bag from Eldenwood Craft Shop, who is Emma, and she's also done the beautiful sheepy bag that I had shown, and I'm sure you all know. But this bag, so special and gorgeous. Look at his face. I just love it. It sits on my couch actually in my bedroom. I have a little tiny love seat, and I sit him there because he just looks like a beautiful work of art. Thank you so much, Joanne. I don't even know how to thank you for such a beautiful gift. You are such a sweetheart, and I thank you so much. So along with that beautiful bag, Joanne popped in some nice tea, which is so pretty. I don't even really want to open it, but I think I will because I love Earl Grey. And this Water Slip Soapworks soap, which is a goat's milk soap, and it smells really, really nice. And then this gorgeous yarn, which is by Sweater Maker Yarn, which I hadn't heard of, but I think it's a local shop to her, or local Vancouver Island shop. And it is gorgeous. Look at those colors. It is 50% silk, 50% merino wool. I think the color might be called Marjorie. This is the tag here. And it is just a luxurious, beautiful yarn, and I don't know what it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be something really special. I don't know if I would, how much is in here, if I could do a shawl. 350 meters, but I could combine that with something else, but it's so beautiful. Thank you so much, Joanne. This was just the nicest package. It was an early birthday surprise, and I love it. And I feel very, like I said, I feel very lucky. I got a couple of surprises this last couple of weeks. The next one totally blew me away. So I had shown you guys this on a previous podcast. I love this pouch. It's a Delphonics pouch. They're very hard to find. I feel bad because I can't really direct you to where to get them. I ordered mine on a Australian website. I think it was called Noteworthy, and I wouldn't do it again because I ended up paying so much in duty and handling fees and exchange and taxes and all that annoying stuff. But I love this pouch. It is huge. It is like a utility pouch. You can fit whatever, you know, anything in here. It's crazy. So the sweet, sweet Jackie from Two Little Birds decided to send me a sweet package with a few things, and she found another one for me because I think she's in the States, and I think you can get them on Amazon there, but this package came as well, and it was around my birthday, and it just felt like the most thoughtful, and I don't know, like when someone takes the time to send you something and really put together a package like Joanne and like Jackie, it's just, it's so nice, and it's really hard to say thank you because it doesn't seem like enough, but Jackie not only sent me this pouch, she packed it to the brim with teas and pencils and stationery and just all kinds of like little highlighters and so much stuff that I like I couldn't even use it or empty it for days. I was just staring at it and loving it. So thank you so, so much, Jackie. Your package was so beautiful, so thoughtful, and I know a lot of the little bits and pieces that were in there are all over the house being used, but I have a couple here that I wanted to share with you because Jackie does have an Etsy shop and she did not ask me to promote it, but her stuff is so cute that I wanted to share. So she has Two Little Birds yarn on Etsy, and she sent me these beautiful stitch markers. I love them. They're colorful and cute and unique, and I wanted to share that with you. And she also sent me some of her hand-dyed yarn to try out, and it is also really, really beautiful. So the first one is a one-of-a-kind fingering and mini skein, so I can make a really fun pair of socks with this. It's really, really fun. The main skein is actually really pretty and a little bit subtle, and then this is a really fun, really great pop. Really, really pretty. I love her speckles. They're beautifully done. And she also included this really fun minis that I could use in any kind of socks or with any other projects. I thought it was a really, really fun bundle of colors. I can't hold that up very well. And that is all from Two Little Birds. So I wanted to share that with you guys too, because it's always fun to share a new to you maker. Maybe you know Jackie. I didn't really know about her yarn before, but it's beautiful. It's very, very soft and plump, and I'm really excited to make some socks, or maybe put these in, even though they're tonals, I think I would like to put these in my blanket because they're really, really pretty, and I think they would add like a nice pop of solid color. And like I said, there was so much other stuff that I don't have with me because they're being used, but thank you so much, Jackie. It was such an amazing package, and such a nice feeling to get something so sweet. So I just wanted to make sure I said thank you to both of you. And I have another one. So after talking about coloring book yarns, someone reached out to me and said that they had some extra in their stash and would I like to do a swap. And so I was like, yes. So very sweet, Irma reached out to me, and she's also a fantastic sewer and knitter. And she very generously swapped this colorway of coloring book yarns, which if I could get my hands on any of them, I would probably take any of these colors. But this one is called Vintage Holiday Magenta, is that right? Yes. It's a fingering weight, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. Very cool. I love this colorway, and as soon as I am done my other Christmas socks, I am making these for myself. I'm gonna have 2 pairs of Christmas socks this year, and oh, I just love it. What do I even say? Thank you, Irma. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have it. Her shop, there's very few updates, and they're really, really hard to get your hands on. So yeah, I feel very lucky. So I got this really cute card. And again, beautiful handmade bag from Irma, which is a really sturdy canvas, gorgeously made, and just packed with all kinds of goodies. I didn't take too many of these out because it's been sitting here waiting for me to podcast, but treats and candies. So much fun. So thank you so much, Irma. This package just made my day, and it was so fun to swap with you and get my hands on a new coloring book, or new to me coloring book yarns. So yeah, my mailbox has been quite full lately. It has been so much fun, and it's such a treat because I love this community. Everybody just kind of wants to share with one another, and it's been a really nice place to make some new friends. So I still have more to talk about. What next? Okay. Things that I have purchased. So, of course, I was watching my friend Meg from the podcast Wool and Cookies, and you should check that out because it is a lot of fun. I love her podcast. Every single project that Meg makes is something that I would immediately check the pattern out for or consider making. We have very, very similar taste in yarn and patterns, and we both like to bake and cook for our families, and she's become a great friend too. And she totally inspired me because I think she held up this yarn in one of her last podcasts, and I went to check them out. This is from Bumble Bee Acres Fiber Farm. I forget where they are. Oh, here it is. I think they're in Illinois. And they actually have a farm and raise the sheep and then actually dye the yarn there. So I thought it was a really neat place, and I loved their kind of small business feel, though they seem like a big business, but I just really liked the farm to kind of hand dyeing yarn feel of it, and I loved this color. I think Meg also mentioned a shawl, which I can't remember the name of right now, but it was a shawl from Bumble Bee Acres that someone there had designed, and you could use one skein, and I thought that would be a fun one skein project because I do like a shawl that uses only one skein. So this is called the Coquette Sock. It is a super wash, 75% American Corriedale and 25% nylon, fingering weight, 3-ply, 434 yards, and it's called Buckleberry Bramble. Beautiful color. I thought it was really fun. And because I was already ordering, I wanted to get a second one, and I've been knitting or planning knitting for my younger son James a lot. And I have not been able to entice my older son Camden with any yarns that I had, so I had him pick one off of the website, and it's really fun. This is also a Coquette sock, and I'm gonna make Camden socks this winter out of this yarn. It is called the Chamber of Secrets Harry Potter inspired. It's the same base, so the 75-25, and it's really fluffy and plush and soft. You can tell they're like, and maybe it's the Corriedale yarn, I don't know, but the wool, it's beautiful, and I love these colors, and I think when it gets knitted it's going to be very interesting because I'm not sure what it's going to look like in a sock, but I think it will be fun. And I might even get a black to do heels and toes, maybe not cuffs, but I think I would like to do that for him. So those are two fun skeins that I picked up, and I'm really happy I did because they're really nice. I'm actually running out of room with all of the stuff this week. Okay, and on my constant quest for stitch markers and progress keepers, I came across Riv Creative on Etsy. I'm not sure if I feel like I've seen her logo before, and I'm not sure if anyone recommended them to me. They must have, but I just can't remember who. So I picked up these really simple but beautiful, I think they're hexagons. These stitch markers, they're just gold, simple, you can see. I thought those would be really handy to have. And I also picked up this because of our camper. It's a vintage Argosy, and it looks almost identical. I'm not sure if you can see this, but she had these little progress keepers that looked exactly like our camper. So I picked that one up. I thought it was really cute. It's like a little Airstream. Then, I'm trying to remember. Okay, this one I ordered a little while ago. This was kind of a birthday treat for myself because I have been wanting one of Lully's DPN cases for a long time. I joined up to get her newsletter, and so I got a notification that she would be doing more, and I got exactly the one I wanted. It was still in the shop when I went to check. It's got this beautiful leather tie. Oops. And here is her card. She is Shop Lully. I'm going to put it up here for the spelling, and I'll put it up on the screen. She has a beautiful Etsy shop where she does project bags and these DPN cases, and also circular needle cases, I think. But it is beautiful, and I've been collecting sock needles because I am just casting on all the socks, not finishing them, but I really wanted a place to put some of my favorite needles. These are actually some of my favorite needles for DPNs. They are the Knit Pro Zings, I believe. And mine are the 2.25 millimeter. I also have a larger set in here just in case. And I have one of my favorite, I forget who made these. These are one of my favorite little bamboo sets, but I was using them to knit, I think it was an opal sock, and it was in the summer, and they've all kind of curved, I guess, from the way that I was holding them, which is not really a bad thing. I could still use them, but they kind of bother me. So they're no longer straight. But I've got them in here because I did love using them. But anyways, I digress. This case is beautiful. It's so thin and compact, and I love the fabric that she uses. It's a denim, and it's just the canvas, or sorry, the denim along with the whatever fusing she's using is just really sturdy and beautiful. So I treated myself to this. I really wanted to keep my needles all together, and I really have a problem with pouches and any kind of organizational things like this. I want them all. I make my own patchwork pouches, and I have a ton of them, and I use them for all different things, but any kind of pouch, obviously, bag, I love them. Which is why I made another purchase with Espace Tricot a week after the one with the beautiful bag. So first I ordered this because I loved it, and I actually ordered some needles too, some tulip needles in this really cute case. So that was my first order, and there's just some needles in here that I'm going to keep in one of my Notions pouches because I have lots. And then I ordered again because I saw this pouch and I needed it, and I don't know if I have the card here right now. Oh, I do, so I can tell you exactly what it is. So this was also from Espace Tricot. It is by Jezebel B, and she's jezebelb.com. But you can check on the Espace Tricot website because they have a few of her different size bags. And what this one is a Notions pouch that looks sort of like an envelope case, but it's got Velcro, and it opens up so that if it's on the table, it's completely open and you can see all of your stuff. So I am just a sucker for pouches. I have this need for all of the pouches. But I actually went onto the website because when I was working on the Clark socks with the cables, I didn't really like my cable needle. I don't have it here, but it's the one that's kind of shaped and comes back around, but I really wanted these. So this was the reason to quickly get online and check out their shop again, and I put these in my cart, and I thought, well, these are so pretty, I might as well get another case. So I've already filled it up with all kinds of goodies, just the usual, including lip balm, because you always need a lip balm, some stitch markers, just everything you would need. And I feel like I just have different Notions pouches for different needs. I have one of mine that sits, you know, beside me on the couch, on the coffee table. And I think this one is going to sit up here in my craft room. And if I travel, I think this is a great one for traveling. And I've already put one of my fun pins on there. I'm loving the enamel pins just like everybody else. But when you have so many bags, they're all over the place. So I have, oh, this is a really cute one. The I Make Things, I like that one. So anyways, this pouch is beautiful. And there's a smaller one too if you like this, and it comes in different colors, but they're all pretty neutral. I think there's a denim, maybe there's a stripe, I'm not too sure, but I kind of wanted something natural. I think that with all the patterns that I do, I just really like the idea of the denim, zigzag stitches, and this kind of natural, looks like a linen, and this beautiful little leather tab so you could just pull it open. I think that covers everything that I've bought, which feels like a lot this week, but was all good stuff. I'm really happy with all of that. Okay, I do have something else I wanted to show you. So for my birthday, I also got a couple of things from my boys, and I wanted to share because they were so cute. It was kind of a book themed birthday. I got lots and lots of books, but I'm just going to show you two. And I also got this cute little Harry Potter music box, and it's just really simple, but I thought it was the cutest because listen. Oh, I love it. So super cute. The boys got me that. They also got me this book that I have been anxious to get my hands on. I love Clara Parks, and A Stash of One's Own just seemed like a book I would love to sink my teeth into. It's got essays from tons of different people, and people's stash really intrigues me. Everyone is so different. Some people have bins and bins and bins of yarn. Some people don't. Sorry, it's the phone going. Okay, sorry about that. That was the phone. So some people have bins and bins of yarn, and some people have just different amounts, and I just find it fascinating. I don't judge anyone. I think having a huge stash is really fun and interesting. I don't have a huge stash, but only because I think it overwhelms me and I don't know what to do with it. And I've only been seriously knitting for the last couple of years, but I'm very project oriented. So when I'm making a purchase, I'm usually excited to purchase for a project other than fingering, because you can always knit socks, and then there's some, you know, great shawls that you can just kind of pick through your stash and do some fun things with. But all the other weights, like I kind of grouped them when I cleaned up my room, and I don't have, you know, very many Aran weights or very many DK weights and sport weights. So when you group them all together and you see your stash, I just find it really interesting, and I thought this would be a great read, and I can't wait. I've started a little bit, but I can't wait to read this because it's really interesting, and I was excited to get that. And then my husband also got me this notebook because he knows I love alpacas, and it's huge, but really cute. So I just wanted to share those couple of little things, and I have one last thing to talk about, which is my shop. So I spoke about the kits, the Rhinebeck Roomie Kit that I collaborated on with the lovely ladies that I mentioned earlier, Amber, Kay, and Angie. So that kit is going to be available in Angie's shop. And I've been really busy working on that, and I have kind of a secret sewing project that I'm working on next. It's going to take up a lot of my time. So I don't have really a big update coming up, but I'm trying to work on a few bags here and there so that I can update my shop for you guys. I will keep you posted as to when. I'm hoping that it might be the end of next week, so like maybe after the 7th, but I'm not too sure. I feel like sometimes I put those dates out there and then I'm frantically trying to sew, and I've been really trying to figure out, with the new school routine and me being home and working on my own business, time management and prioritizing has become really stressful for me. It's not bad because I am enjoying being home and I'm loving everything that I'm doing, so I'm not complaining. But I've had moments of, you know, anxiety and stress that I didn't expect, and I think it's because I'm putting all that pressure on myself to just keep doing more and more, and I'm kind of a one-woman show. So I want to make so many more bags. I want to dye all of the yarn and stock up my shop, but I'm only one person, and because I have some other projects going on right now, I probably won't have a huge update for a little while, but I am going to try to pop a few bags in a week or so. And I think I might even be popping in some yarn if you're interested. And I wanted to share a little bit of that with you today. So I designed a ball band for my yarn, which I'm really happy with. So I just used my By the Lakeside logo, and I think it's really cute on a ball band. And I just wrapped it around this yarn, which I love, and I am going to try to put in the shop because I have done a few of them, and I think it's really pretty. I haven't named this one yet, but I've been having so much fun working on colorways and then picking out names. And I have these two. I kind of showed this one. I've recreated it, so it might be a little bit different, but I showed this one early on, and I really love purple. I think 3/4 of what I've dyed so far has some kind of purple. And I did this one, and I'm really happy with it, and I thought they looked kind of cool together. So I am going to try to pop some of these in my shop, and they are Harry Potter inspired by one of my favorite characters in the movies, which is Luna. And so I decided to name this one, I Hope There's Pudding, and this one is Exceptionally Ordinary. So either separate or together. I thought they were really pretty, and I was really happy with how this one turned out. I think it's kind of a fun colorway, and so I will have those in my shop. And then I did kind of a crazy fun one. I had a lot of fun with this one. I wanted to do something for some fun socks, or maybe like a really cool pop in some kind of a shawl. So this one I am going to be calling Bizarre Love Triangle. And if you are a New Order fan, you will know that very well. But I thought it was really fun. I like this one, and I am definitely going to do more of this. I'm also having fun working out what bases to dye on, and even what to call the bases. And I have, you know, some really fun ideas because my background is in fashion that I think my basic, this would be like a 80-20 superwash merino and nylon, great for socks, or it's kind of like a workhorse yarn. So I might call this one Casual Friday, and have some other fun names. So I'm really excited to kind of do a bigger launch later and tell you more about the different yarns that I'm dyeing on and what colorways I'll have. But I thought for now, this would be kind of a fun sneak peek at some of the yarns that I've been working on and I'm going to be putting in the shop. And then I'm hoping to give you some more sneak peeks on my Instagram account, and maybe even my website. I'll probably do a little bit of an info thing there. And yeah, I hope that you'll find something you like. And if you do want to keep up on when my shop will be updated, you can check my website. There's no date there now, but as soon as I have a date, I will post the date on my website, which is bythelakeside.com. And I'm also always posting on Instagram. So if you want to know what's going on there, or, you know, in my shop, then you will find that on Instagram. And I will try to do a shop update with a few more bags and some yarn, maybe the end of next week. And if not, then it will definitely be before I go to Rhinebeck, because I do have lots of plans on my calendar of things to do. So it's definitely in there. It's gonna happen. And yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you will join in my Cold Hands Make Along if you are making anything to keep your hands warm this fall and winter. I have been starting to get some really great messages for some prizes, and I'm going to share that with you in the next episode, because I'm going to hopefully have my mittens started and talk about it a little bit more, and then I will start showing you some of the fantastic things that have been donated, and I can't wait to share with you because I'm going to have some really nice prizes. So thank you to anyone that has sent me a pattern or anything for giveaways so far. I will definitely be showing those very, very soon. So that covers it for today. I hope you guys are all well, and thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!